Hi, it's Linda, and I'm going to make a pork tenderloin with a cherry sauce. And of course, this is WW friendly, low points, but very tasty. And I'm going to make it with my Instant Pot because it'll cook in it'll be done in about 15 minutes total by the time it pressure cooks for 10 minutes and then it slow down cooks for like 3. And once it builds pressure, compared to if you want to cook this in the crock pot, I'm including the directions on how to make this in a crock pot, but it will take 6 to 8 hours on high or 3 to 4 on low. So it depends upon what you prefer to use for cooking. I do have a crock pot, although this Instant Pot works as a crock pot also. It has the same setting, so I don't even really use my crock pot anymore. I do once in a while, but mostly this one because it sits up here. So versatile. So if you ever want to invest in something, this is a good investment. I use this all the time. And if you want to know where I got mine, just check out my website, and I have a link to Amazon that will take you right to the one that I have. Okay, I'm going to get started on the pork tenderloin, and I've got 2 pounds of lean pork tenderloin, and then I'm going to put a package of dry onion soup mix in, and then a cup of chicken broth, fat-free chicken broth. I think it's all fat-free anymore, and a little bit of ground thyme, and some nutmeg, and some sugar-free cherry pie filling. I find this at Walmart, and I wish other stores would carry things too. I should be an affiliate for Walmart. I'm not, but I just like to tell you where I get things. But you can find this at Walmart, the sugar-free pie filling, and so that's going to be part of the glaze. I'm going to serve this with some vegetables. I'm going to do some vegetables in my air fryer oven, and so I'm going to roast them, a little bit of garlic, and also some corn on the cob. So I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so I have my Instant Pot on Sauté, and when it said hot, I added 1/2 cup of the chicken broth. And I'm going to put the pork tenderloin in there now and kind of use it to kind of like lightly brown without having to put oil or butter in there. And so here goes one. You can just cook it down just a little bit until it browns on both sides. Also, one thing about pork, reason I don't always make it, because it has a lot of fat in it, and which means a lot of points. And I know there's certain fats, they are good for you and that sort of thing. But when I'm trying to count my points, I do a lot of chicken recipes because, of course, there's 0 points. Same with fish. So I have a lot of chicken recipes. I was really wanting to do something different, so I decided to do this pork tenderloin. And I bought the leanest one I could find. This is 2 pounds of pork tenderloin. But even that, I still had to take some of the fat off. So I pulled off some excess fat, and I weighed it just out of curiosity. It was 2 ounces of just fat that would have added up to some extra points that I really don't want. So that's why I've got this here. I'm going to just set this aside. Okay, now put these things aside. The pork tenderloin is cooking. It's like boiling in the chicken broth, and so I'm going to let it kind of turn over on both sides to brown it on both sides, just a little bit in this chicken broth, and I'm going to add some salt and pepper to it, just a little bit of salt. You don't need much salt because pork has already got salt in it, but I'll be right back. Okay, the pork tenderloin is bubbling here with a 1/2 cup of broth that I put in there, and it just kind of lightly browns it. You really don't even have to brown it. I think it's just old school of me. Every time we made a roast or tenderloin or anything, we would brown it, but you don't have to. If you want to and you want to spend a couple extra points, you could put some olive oil in there, but I don't think it really needs it. It's up to you. I'd rather spend it on dessert. Anyway, so now while that's cooking, I just got it on Sauté. One thing, a little hint when you're using your Instant Pot, so it goes to pressure faster. If you turn your Sauté button on first, it gets the heating element real nice and hot. So then when I go to put the lid on, it's going to build pressure faster. I poured the other half a cup of chicken broth in there. So now we've got a cup of chicken broth that I've used, and it's cooked down a little bit, which is what I wanted. And so now I'm going to add the can of sugar-free cherry pie filling. And then I'm going to add a package of dry onion soup mix to this. And I'm going to add, let me go ahead and do it because this recipe doesn't take long. Once I put all of this on top of it, it's going to cook down and then it's going to be done. So now I'm adding the soup mix. And while it's cooking, I'm going to turn on my air fryer, and I've got some nice mixed fresh vegetables here. I'll lightly spray them with I can't believe it's not butter. And then I'm going to sprinkle some everything but the bagel seasoning on it and a little bit of garlic salt. I'll show you that in a minute. So now I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of thyme, ground thyme, in here. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'm going to mix this all together. So simple. Mixing this all together, and I'm going to pour it right on top of the pork tenderloin. And then I'm going to set it to pressure, high pressure, for 10 minutes. I think because it's already cooking, I think I said probably 8 minutes. So I'm going to set it to high pressure for 8 minutes. So I'm going to hit cancel to take it off of Sauté. Looking good. Get my little tongs here. And now just turning it over. And then I'm going to pour this on top. And I'm going to put the lid on. I'll fast forward while I do this. And then it's going to cook. Okay, so I took that cherry pie filling and all the spices mixed together and spooned it right on top of the tenderloin. So that's what you want to do, is put it right on top. Putting my lid on. I'm setting this pressure button, in case you're not familiar with your Instant Pot yet. On mine is right in the middle, is full pressure. And then I'm going to go to manual. I'm going to set it for 10 minutes. I think I said 8 because it's already been cooking. And that's it. And I'll be back. Okay, I'll say this real quick because I've got my air fryer oven going and it can get a little noisy. But I just wanted to show you real quick. I've got some fresh vegetables here. I line my little air fryer trays with this parchment paper that has little holes in it. It's perforated, and you can get these off of Amazon, and it makes it so nice because it lets the air flow around, but it keeps everything clean, and it keeps a lot of your spices and stuff together. So I'm going to spray this because I can't believe it's not butter. You can also spray it with a little bit of olive oil, but since I like a little butter on my vegetables, this is a good way to get the flavor of it without getting all the extra points that go with it. So this thing's a little, put in the refrigerator, which is what it's supposed to be, so it's a little cold. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of everything but the bagel, and get this from Trader Joe's. But now you actually can get these from Walmart in a bigger container for less money. And not Walmart, I mean it's Costco. Got it at Costco. And of course, like anything at Costco, you can get it bigger and cheaper. But sprinkle a little bit of that on it because it has all these really cool seasonings. And then I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of garlic salt on top. And this is going to go in my air fryer oven at 400 degrees. And it's going to cook for about 6 to 8 minutes. So what's cool is while this is cooking, that's going to be cooking. Everything's going to get done about the same time with my dynamic duo. That's what I call them. My Instant Pot air fryer oven and my Instant Pot pressure cooker. I just use them all the time. So cool. Okay, I try to also tell you what I'm doing on side dishes that go along with my recipes. Even though this isn't in the recipe, I am making some roasted vegetables I mentioned I was going to make them in my air fryer oven, which I am, and I was putting them on a little tray and they were getting crowded, and I wanted to do corn too, and I thought I'm going to cut up the corn in little bites, little sizes, put them in with the vegetables, and then I'm going to put them in the rotisserie. What's so cool about the Instant Pot air fryer oven is it has a rotisserie, and also has one with skewers. You can rotisserie your chicken, and it has the basket here, which is good for shrimp and vegetables and stuff. Anyway, it's going to go in here. I'm going to put this in the air fryer, Instant Pot air fryer oven. I'm going to cook it for I think about 8 minutes. I'm going to watch it and see how long it takes. And then I've sprayed everything with a little bit of butter and the spices that I told you about. So that's the way I'm going to make it this time. And then when I take it out, everything will all be ready together. Yay! Okay, I've got it in my air fryer oven now, my Instant Pot air fryer oven. I don't think you can see it. I was going to try to zoom in. It is so cool. Let me see if I can. Ooh, there it goes. Can you see? Look at that. Isn't that cool? All my vegetables are cooking together. Yay! I can't wait. It's smelling so good in here. Yay! Okay, it's all done. And this is the pork tenderloin, real tender. One thing you want to do is make sure you use a thermometer, a meat thermometer, and I love this little digital one. I actually use this in my Instant Pot air fryer oven. Just couldn't do it in the pressure cooker, of course. But you just stick it in there, set your temperature, and if you're cooking it on the stove or like in the air fryer oven or regular oven, it's going to beep and let you know when it hits that temperature. It should have an internal temperature at 145, and as soon as I took this out of the Instant Pot and I put it in there, it said 150, and I'm like, yay, that's good. I have this also on my website if you're interested in it. Really cool, it's not that much money. And then also, just so you know, many times when I'm trying to cook, I'm trying to figure out how long do I cook. Like I made these vegetables in my air fryer oven and in the rotisserie basket, which was so cool. Everything browned up really nice. And I did this in like 8 minutes while this was cooking. This was cooking perfect. But I love these little guides. They're magnetic and they have little tabs on them, and you can go right to it. It'll tell you how long to cook things in your pressure cooker or how long to cook it in your air fryer oven, and the temperatures and the water amount, and they just stick right back on your refrigerator. I put them right on the side of my refrigerator when I'm done. Sometimes I'll just flip it up, look at it on the refrigerator, I just pull them off and use them here. I use these a lot when I'm making recipes. So if these are helpful, if you think you like something like this, they're also on my website. I just post things that I love, little gadgets. I like it when people share stuff at our WW meetings and share little things that they use that helps. So this is all done. Here's the cherry glaze that it cooked in. When I took the pork tenderloin out of the Instant Pot, this was still kind of thin, so I turned the Instant Pot back on to Sauté and cooked it for about 5 minutes, because you want this to set anyway a little bit, your meat, in about 5 minutes, and it thickened it up a little bit. So you just spoon it right on top, and that's what we're going to have for dinner, along with all these yummy roasted vegetables. The only thing that's really got any points in it is the pork tenderloin. This is served 6, and that's 4 points per serving. So I'm going to count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14. It looks like you can get about 14 nice 14 pieces of tenderloin. So probably about 2 really nice size or whatever, and that you can have for just your 4 points. That would make your serving size. So here's to another good meal. I hope you enjoy it. I can't wait. Thank you for watching my channel, and if you enjoy it, please share it with others and ask them to subscribe. I would really appreciate it so I can keep doing these. And go check out my website. I have all the recipes that I have. It actually has a link to all the videos, and then underneath it there's a little box that says click on for printable recipes. Every recipe that I make, you know, on the videos, I have in a PDF form. You can just click on it, then you can print it off, because everybody complained they couldn't print them off on YouTube, and I understand that. So now you can. So I hope you enjoy this. You have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Stay healthy. Stay inside if you have to, whatever it takes. You know, we'll get through this. God bless you guys. Bye. It's Linda Muse signing off.